everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and today I'm going to talk about the truth about reselling on Poshmark and something that everyone needs to hear, because I've seen so many people over the last couple of months say sales have been very slow, they're not making any sales, they don't know what to do, and they're complaining about, people Poshmark pushing the promoted closets or pushing Posh shows, and the reality is Poshmark wants to push these things because they want you to do these things, because that is what they are pushing with the platform. So if you're not doing these things, you may have some issues on the platform, you may have some trouble selling, but I'm going to go into details of why these things are so important to do, and these are going to really help you have more success on Poshmark. So hopefully you like this video and hopefully you are subscribed. All right, let's get right into the video. So like I said, I see a lot of people that are complaining that sales have been very slow. They don't know, what else to do. They're doing whatever they should be. And a lot of the times I actually see that these people are not. They're not sharing their closet multiple times a day. They're not adding new inventory every day. They're not relisting their sale inventory every day. And they're not sending out offers or accepting offers. So a lot of people are the first to complain when they get a lowball offer, which I know can be frustrating. But you can take that lowball offer and send them a counter offer that you think is reasonable, and there is a chance that they will accept or counter, again, something, within reason. And again, when you decline offers, those are the kind of people that are the first to complain that the algorithm is not working in their favor, and they're the first to complain that their sales are slow. But that's because they're declining offers, and that really does hurt you in the algorithm. Same thing with canceling orders. Canceling orders is very detrimental to the algorithm for you. So I wouldn't recommend canceling offers and declining offers. These are so important not to do. And so again, I see so many people that are declining offers because they're like, oh, I just got a really low ball offer, I'm not even gonna waste my time. And then they wonder why, they're not getting any offers or they're not getting any sales or anything. And I think that it has something to do with it. And I just feel like people need to, realize this, and they need to understand that you need to not do these things that are going to affect your sales, because these are such simple little tasks that if you really can't accept the offer, just don't answer the offer, just let it expire or counter it. And even if they don't counter back and they just, let it expire again, at least that was something that isn't going to hurt you in the algorithm. And I've mentioned this before, but 2/3 of all sales on Poshmark do come from offers, whether it's an offer sent out or an offer that you sent. And so there's always a way to make a sale, and it's a really high percentage. So it's really important to make sure that you are accepting or countering offers. And it's really important to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to be doing daily to really have the algorithm working in your favor. Poshmark is not one of those platforms that you can just list your items and never look at them again. You have to be sharing them multiple times a day. Do not just share once, do not just share twice. Share throughout the day and make sure that those items are getting in front of those relevant search feeds. And make sure that you're relisting that inventory, because I see a lot of people that say, oh, I don't have time to relist my stale inventory, somebody will buy it. And basically when it hits that 60 days listed on Poshmark, it's no longer being pushed in front of the new items feed. It's no longer being put at the top of that relevant search. And so it's become stale, and it's not really, being put in front of people. It's going to be hard for someone to find it. So it's so important to really be relisting that stale inventory and making sure that you have things that are not stale in your closet. And I get a lot of people that ask, how do you know when an item has been listed for 60 days, or can you do it before the 60 days? Does it work the same? And if you are going to use the copy listing button on Poshmark, when you go into the listing and you do it manually and click copy listing, it will only be effective if you do it after 60 days of the item being listed. And you could check the list date by going into the inventory report, and you can see when the item was listed. But if you are using a VA, which is what a lot of people do, including myself, my VA can relist anything at any time, and it will count as a brand new listing because they are making an entirely new listing from your original listing. They are not using the copy listing button. So again, it depends on what kind of way you are relisting, whether you have a VA or not, which is why I say having a VA is just so much more important, because you could really have it do things for you and you don't have to worry about what date the item was listed or anything like that. And also, not to mention, Posture VA, which is the VA I use, does tell you when the item was listed. So if you really wanted to stick to only relisting things after that 60-day period, it will tell you when the item was listed. It'll give you the list date. So you know exactly when to relist it if you want to stick to that. But again, it's so important to be relisting that stale inventory because it sells so much faster and it just gets put in front of so many more eyes when you do that. So if you're not doing this and you're seeing slow sales, make sure that you are doing it and make sure that you're doing it correctly. Because like I said, if you do it before that 60-day period without having a VA, it's not going to be effective. So make sure that you're doing this correctly. Otherwise, it's basically useless to do. The other thing I wanted to mention is a lot of people are saying, that they don't like the promoted closets and that they think it's just a way for Poshmark to get more money out of us. And again, they are really pushing it. Like, I can't make that any more clear, but I think it's very clear to us how much they're pushing it, because they have a new banner in the app next to promoted closets. Even though it's been around for almost 2 years at this point, they have a new banner, and so they really want you to click on it and they really want you to see it. And it's funny because I've actually noticed that the My Consignment bags, which is a newer feature that was literally just released like a month ago to the apps, it doesn't even say new on it. But the promoted closets that's been around for almost 2 years has a new banner on it. So they are really pushing that, and they are really trying to get you to sign up for a trial of it or however much of it. And that is also true because they put a banner in your closet now that says, oh, sign up now and save 40%, or sign up now and whatever. And they're pushing it as much as they can. And I understand that it's frustrating because I personally don't like it. I gave it a try a couple years ago and I didn't like it. I was actually thinking about doing a trial period where I, basically signed up for it for a couple weeks and see what it did for my sales now, just because I think they've made a lot of improvements since I did the free trial. But I'm just not sure if I want to because I don't want to pay for it. But I do know that they're really pushing it. And if you don't want to use the promoted closets, you may not make as many sales just because that's something that they are really pushing in the app. And the same thing with Posh shows. I know a lot of people don't like Posh shows. They don't want to do anything with the Posh shows. They don't want to host. They don't want to, be a part of them. There's too many things with like accidental bidding and things like that. So a lot of people do not like Posh shows. They think that they can only sell things cheap or whatever the case may be. They don't want to be live in front of a camera. They don't want to sit there for an hour and make one sale. All these different things. I totally understand all of the different examples of why you wouldn't want to do a Posh show or interact with the Posh show, but just know that Poshmark is really pushing those, and that's why they keep doing all these new updates for Posh shows. They did the giveaways recently, they did the dual lives recently, they've updated the tray from 50 to 100 recently, and they're really trying to do all these updates on the shows to make it a better experience because they've seen that Posh shows work. They've seen that live selling works on other platforms, and they've seen that people are going to other platforms such as Whatnot or any other platform that does live shows. So they're doing whatever they can to get those people back and make a Posh shows experience that's good. So again, they are pushing it and they really want you to use it. So that's why they're, sending you all these notifications in your news feed and coming out with all these new features because they want you to use it. So if you're not using the Posh shows, if you're not using the promoted closets, and you're not doing all the other things that I mentioned, like sharing, sending out offers and relisting and all of that, you're really going to struggle on Poshmark. And so when I see someone that says they haven't gotten a sale in like a month or a week or anything like that, I have to think that they are not doing any of these things in this video. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you are, because that's really the only way that you're going to have success on the platform. And if you want to have consistent success and have daily sales and things like that, you have to be doing one or multiple of these things to really have a successful closet on Poshmark. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to pick one and that's it. It's kind of like a recipe, you need to do a couple of these to really make sure you have more success. And the more that you do, the more success you're probably going to have. Because a lot of people that are selling a lot of items are actually, doing the promoted closets. They're also doing Posh shows. They're also having a VA and doing the relisting and sending out offers and sharing all of that. Like, they're probably doing a lot of it. And so I wanted to make this clear that Poshmark is really pushing all of these things, and if you're not actively participating in them and you're not actively doing them, you're probably going to struggle, and that's the truth to being on Poshmark. You have to do what they are pushing, otherwise you won't have a lot of success. So maybe this was a video that you didn't want to hear because it's the hard truth to hear, but it's really important to remember and make sure that you're doing these things to really have the most success on the platform. If you want to see another video on new features that have been released to Poshmark recently, including the giveaway feature and how it works, you could click right here. And if you want to see another video on reasons why your listings aren't selling and what you can do to make them sell, you could click right here. But until next time, I will see you then.